God, no.
Hit record.
I don't know, can I say something? I mean, are you guys and everybody, is Kim here? I didn't see her today.
She's here. She's here. Go get her. She's in her
Well,
office.
yeah, let's get her. I'm hoping, as I'm hoping that you guys will reflect on Bailey, on your own personal self. Shut up. Gotta do music. Everybody dress on to be careful in the front row. So I want y'all to reflect on your own personal journeys. Because y'all might not know Bailey's journey. See, this is my second US Open that I've been able to go and see her. Y'all saw on Facebook that I flew to California at 3 in the morning, did not sleep for 24 hours.
Oh.
Yeah, everybody saw that. I hope you did. If you didn't, you're not the person on Facebook. Hey, I will tell you that. And this ain't about me. It's the coolest part of it is she called me her biggest fan. Her journey even through COVID. See, they take the top 10 every year. You get your LPGA card. And if I mess the story up at all, just correct me because it's your story. But I'll let you try to dry your tear duct out. But they take the top 10. So one year she finished 11th. You imagine the heartbreak. Imagine losing a client. You imagine not hitting your goals. You've worked so hard all year long. You want to do that, right? Boom. So she didn't do it. The next year COVID is. They only take the top 5.
Yeah.
And she's number 6.
Yeah.
And it gets a little worse. The next year she misses it by $300 to get her LPGA card. So it's not always been glorious, but yet she keeps competing. She keeps her coaching. She's moved to Orlando. She practices here. Right? You see, what we don't see is peel that onion back. Who Bailey Tardy has worked her ASSL. I'm sorry, I said that, it's been recorded. But that's what she's done for many years to get to this point. I always knew that she was the best in the world. I called her the American girl. Her world has changed forever. The Tardy family, who has poured so much into her. I'm going to share my own story for a minute. I'm going to give you the mic. And so I didn't want her to see us because I didn't know. And she had some missed putts for birdies. And you can see the frustration. She's a competitor. And I can tell she's pissed. She's a competitor. And I didn't want her to see it. Well, Kim and Marla were ahead of me, and she sees her mom, of course, and delighted. Then she sees Marla and goes crazy. You get to see her expression. Of course, I'm jealous, and I run up there. She's so shocked. But yet they expected the Mullers to be there. Like she said, it didn't surprise me that you flew out. And it's not about me, but yet to support this young lady whose journey has been, like I hope all of you on your journey, it's not always going to be roses. And you're like, the light switch will flip. And when it does, it's magical. And I said to her, we're celebrating. And she's so awesome. And I go, you go celebrate tonight. She goes, I got another tournament to win. So her mindset is completely different now because she does know that she is the best in the world and can compete against the best in the world. And I will tell you, Saturday was the proudest round of golf I've ever seen. I hope that some of you did watch that because it was a struggle. Well, first of all, the course is the hardest I've ever seen.
Yeah.
2 is when you're on top of the world and every camera, the gallery is huge. It's huge. So the nerd, if you're a golfer, you'll know every putt meant something, right? And then to see her Sunday relax, and then to see her smile, we started getting to 11, 12, 13, and she was smiling. Even missing putts of frustration, she ended up smiling. And the first person to congratulate the winner was Meredith. So I observed a lot of things. She did. She went up there and she's been the leader. Her world is different now. And to the Tardy family, the hard work. David Vitale said it the best. That young girl that I saw at swim meets to win a swim meet is now the best in the world.
Yeah.
And we're just getting started. And I think from our family to yours, we watch you, and y'all, I want to thank y'all. Because Kim is a very well-educated University of Georgia Go Dogs. And May Bailey finished, get that degree, and she could have easily just went pro. I was screaming to do that, Mama said no, and Mom said, matter more than mine. And when she's gone on Thursdays and Fridays, y'all being understanding, because that's what she's doing. See, life ain't about.
Working.
She's
Don't
still,
be here.
she does. Y'all know that, but you understand it's more about life, like no one cares. I watched this movie on the way home and I cried, a man named Otto. Now, if you haven't seen that movie, God, I cried and cried. I'm like, and it just made me think, and you come from your man, but his heart was so big. And that's the way this family is. Bob and I, God, it was the most magical moment of my life. And the whole weekend, I just questions, thoughts, somebody else say something outside of me.
Congratulations.
You know, that- He said, I didn't do it.
That's all I do.
She's been, you know what I'm telling you? She spent 26 years in preparation. If you saw the announcer, they talked about her with her dog. Right? And how she rescued him. If you talked about wake surfing for foster children. Now, if y'all know Bailey was my daughter, that's probably her best friend. And she's really, I'd say the only friend that Mount has, but one of the probably top. Well, she is the top person that comes in town, takes her to get her nails done. Treats Mallory pretty top. Like she treats Mallory like a regular person, doesn't baby her. And she's like, Mary, let's go. Like, let's go. You know, but yet her, who she is as a person is better than she has been all, which will take her a long way. And that's, I think, that's a testament of 26 years of doing Bob. Yeah, let's go. Tell us, did I nail it or somewhat?
Oh, yeah. Well, and I'll make this clear. You can get your card by finishing top 10, or you can get it by going through school and making it all the way to the end and being in the top 20 or whatever. You didn't even want to go. When she didn't finish top 10, she finished 11th this last year again. She's like, I'm not doing it. I'm just gonna go back to the Edison tour, which is the feeder school, or the feeder tour for the LPGA and try to get top 10 next year. And the deadline to sign up, you know, it was like 5 o'clock that day. And I'm like, you're gonna do this. And she hates it. It's 8 rounds of golf and it's over 2 different courses over 2 weeks. And it's a grind, it's a struggle. And so at the last minute, she was like, all right, what, you know, but what is it? Actually, I'm sorry, it was $2,500. And she said, can I get my money back if I decide I don't want to do it? So after the deadline passes, she can't get the money back. And so she did it, and then she ended up finishing 2nd, and she got her card, and that's why she's here.
Yeah. Even more. So when you look at failure or opportunity, you didn't get something you wanted, you know, you just keep grinding. Life's not gonna just be always roses.
Yeah. And to get into this tournament, you have to play a qualifier, which is considered the longest thing in golf because it's 36 holes.
Oh,
One day. And it's kind of a crapshoot because there's qualifiers all over the country on different days over like a 3-week period. And she hates it. Who wouldn't hate that? And so she didn't want to do that either.
so now she did it. And Bailey, if you watch the tournament, I hope you don't, if you did, go to YouTube and watch her. It was the coolest thing. I took pictures, but every time that she was going on the course, she would stop and stare at the water. And I think for me, it was probably reflection, the opportunity she just got, reflection on where she's at today in life, and just God's beauty. And I kept taking pictures of her doing that. Like it was, and they kept announcing on the, you know, on the TV screen that
I think she was looking at the dogs on the beach.
Well,
That's what
that's
they
it.
said.
That's a dog thing. So let me ask this question. Where does she go now? Now that she plays fourth in the US Open, does she have exemptions now?
Well, it was really a huge thing because the top 10 in that tournament automatically go back next year, so she doesn't have to qualify.
She's automatic?
The funny thing, she didn't know that until she went to the scores tent, and one of the USGA officials said, hey, you don't have to go to a qualifier now, because she didn't even know, like, she's so green, she didn't. I knew that, but I didn't tell her. Anyway.
So I'm gonna share one more funny story with y'all. And there's more behind the story. Me and Bailey had a little disagreement last week, like literally, like she was harsh at me, but I've known her forever and she serves at my house, blah, blah, blah. And I said, what is your world ranking? And I kind of know what it is. It's just 455 in the world. And I said, are you not focused on top 10, top 20, just because I'm a goal-oriented guy? She said, I don't mess with that junk anymore because it was, I don't think it didn't like it was messing her up thinking to get to these points. And everybody's different. Well, I did hug her neck and I said, well, that argument you and I had, well, your overall ranking is going to change dramatically after this tournament. But what she said was, I gotta know when to win. And when she comes to town, I'll bring her in there because you gotta just meet her, just the humility and the most incredible human. And that's why. Yeah.
All right, I'm hot, I'm sweating.
Anybody, anything? I know I said, yes, sir.
Let's not forget the dedication the parents have to put in.
Yes.
I didn't hear you say it again.
Let's not forget about the dedication that Kim and her husband put in.
26 years worth.
You know, just going to all the practices, you know.
Money, tournaments.
Money.
Practices.
GGC, and I believe that, I know GGC, and she had to go to Norcross so they could be more flexible or vice versa. GAC, I'm sorry, yeah, GAC, so they can be more flexible with their schedule, so he can go and play golf.
Right.
Right? So, you know, if some of you don't know, Bailey as a junior and senior played in the US Open. She played it 4 times. This is her first as a pro. And
What's the purse? What do you make?
oh, I can pull that up. Because here's the thing, let me tell y'all, hold on, I want y'all to reflect when I move her out of here, we'll talk about real estate. What's the purse? Y'all know each putt was worth, and we knew this, we're all in our minds, so what they're worth to her, and it would change her life economically. I believe she made more money in this tournament than she's made in her entire life.
No.
Oh, yes, she did. Oh, y'all. Yeah.
It's public knowledge, she made like $482,000.
Oh, nice. I'm not her at all, they won't allow me to be her representative. She is the all-American, she's beautiful, she's athletic, she's talented, Matt's over there, he's like, nailing everything. And so what y'all saw economically was gonna change forever for her. And her, and it should, because she's worked her butt off. So I think it's your story, so I ask each of you to ask, what is your story to where you're at today, whether you're 26, you're 20, the phenomenons are 20. I think Michelle Weed, her first one, she was 12. Wasn't there something crazy about Michelle Weed?
Well, she's a phenom anyway.
Yeah.
I think she qualified, was the youngest qualifier.
Yeah. So I just think it's for yourself to watch as economically, she's gonna be different, but yet, you know, the opportunities or the failures she's had. And I think we all have to reflect on that. Like, it has not been an easy road. Seeing the tears in her eyes, but to see her tears of joy the other day, and she embraced it. And this one kid, I'll leave you this. I was on the plane with him, by the way, I'm going home. This kid walked up to her and said, "You're my hero." And I mean, he came up. And mom came up and we studied you, and we live in Florida, we flew out to see you.
Oh, wow.
And mom said, I'm in junior golf with my daughter, and Bailey is our hero, and
Oh.
and so I flew her out, and we wanted an opportunity just to thank her. And it was like, Wow, yeah, look, Sandy's just come back from this huge vacation, and her crying, I love it. But life, and that's what life's about, not about how much money she makes. Yes, I want to live this great boat, world, I need to buy a boat, because it's been using mine for years, so that's. But me and Kim just talked about helping her buy a house just recently, I mean, this, it just changed her
You can
life.
send me houses on the fine.
Yeah. Go somewhere. But Kim, Tardy, to you and your awesome family, you know, to Peggy, my government. It's sexy or cool, it is cool.
Yes, follow Willis off.
Biggest person ever in US history. Y'all know that, right?
Yes. The winner got to
Yeah. You know, she was in the lead for many polls, right? So I thank y'all for allowing me to share that. Kim, we love you. Congratulations. If you put that in your own life, what one more house, one more deal? Like I've signed checks for $206,000. Y'all know that? I've signed commission checks for that kind of money. One deal. So that's what I challenge you with. It's not where you're at today, it's where you're going. And what on the journey and the package you're on. And I've watched this one, and so this is going plus your tail. So congratulations, thank y'all. All right, let's move forward. I told you something good. Anybody want to beat that? All right, then let's move this needle farther. Let's do. All right, who do we got here? Meredith Willis. Where are you located? How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Man, I'm gaining my voice back because I was screaming. I'm sorry, I might get redneck, and I was screaming. The next time she made a putt, I'm like, let's go. Okay, how are you?
Can't complain, how are you guys?
You know, good, we would listen to you.
I don't have any kind of good news like that, but
You're here.
that's true.
Well, we don't know you. What company are you with?
I work with Residential Inspector of America. I was here for
Yeah.
a month and a half
I
ago.
probably was out on a journey somewhere in
You
California.
were doing something crazy.
Yeah.
Watching a different officer.
Yes, I know.
But yeah, hi, I'm Meredith. I work with RAA, Residential Inspector of America. I wasn't here too long ago, but we offer 100, well, first of all, we've been in business since 1989. So we've done well over 100,000 home inspections in that time. We offer $100,000 in free warranties with every full home inspection. I kind of talked about that last time. So it's going to go more specifically into our, I also am doing a giveaway at the end. If you haven't put your business card in, you want to get it out while I'm talking. But anyway, we offer, we have a roof leak warranty specifically. There's lots of warranties on our 100,000, but our roof leak is good for 5 years. Which I think is awesome. A lot of people have, things that come up within a year or two. Thank you. And so it's nice to be covered for that long, and it's also just included in your home inspection. Business first. I think I'm not gonna take up too much of your time, because if you're not going, do you have any questions about REA or anything like that?
Well, they do. They can see you after this. You gonna hang around for a minute? You got cards?
I'll be here. I have business cards.
Good deal. I got a roofing guy here. I got all our other partners here too as well right now,
Yeah.
so.
You guys have a lot of partners in your office usually, like my last time.
Yeah. You know why they come here?
Because you guys are awesome.
Great answer.
You're very.
Ask them how they make money.
By being friendly.
Well, no, because we use them.
The vendors.
That's right, that's right.
Thank you, that was really nice. Anybody else?
Anybody want to do a drawing? Why is she doing that? This is a client appreciation party, people. That's what this is for her. Y'all thought she brought you breakfast, no? She didn't do that, she spent money. And it's client appreciation, why? She now has a CRM, loaded database, is that right? Look at.
Maybe, yeah.
I see my. Nailed it, yes.
All right, do you want to draw?
Yeah,
All right, man, this is really good.
so who am I gonna pick? You don't know everybody in here. I mean, who am I gonna pick?
You're gonna pick that eight.
That one.
Today.
Good answer. But, look around, tell me who I'm gonna pick.
Carrie Foster.
So,
Yeah, might as well be Karen.
Got me.
It is not. It's David, where's she at? Where's she at? She's right there. There she is, right there. Did I say it right?
Oh, God.
Is that right? I knew it. There she is, right there. Congratulations. Carries, I was going to play the lottery night.
Give me one.
But Michael and Grace, come on down. Thank you so much for breakfast. I know everybody loves eating. Tell us something good.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Well, my name is Amy Spading. I'm with Michael and Gray. This is Emily Raymond. She's with Michael and Gray as well. As y'all know, we are right across the hall right there. I wanted to talk today a little bit about the Community Association Disclosure Form. So last week I actually had a closing where the seller didn't accurately disclose the initiation fee closing or on their form, which in turn at closing, I don't remember the exact fees, but let me give you an example. Let's say the initiation fee is $1,000. They only disclosed $600. Guess who's paying the rest of that? It goes back to the seller. They were not very happy as you can get in that closing. They then also wanted to argue that that was going to be part of their seller contribution for closing. It is not. Please, please, please pay attention to this form, stress the importance of it to your client, because otherwise they are going to be with that at closing. That also includes, let me get the wording for you, initial fee, capital contribution, new member fee, transfer fee, new account setup fee, fees similar to the above, but which are referenced by a different name, one-time fees associated with the closing of the transaction, anything like that, to the extent that is accurately disclosed. And that's the part where the seller didn't realize that. They are telling me that the fees were that at the time that they purchased the property. It doesn't matter. Fees can change. So please tell them to get it in writing from the HOA, whatever the fees are, so they can accurately disclose that on this form. So in turn, at closing, everybody's happy. Fees are accurately disclosed, and it can be a little bit more smooth. Please keep that in mind because it does happen. I know that's a pretty common one. You'd be surprised how often it comes up that, oh, fees have changed. Doesn't matter. It's still, we go by the HOA letter and we've got to put that on settlement statement. If there's a discrepancy, seller pays it and it is not part of their contribution at closing. Any questions on that? I know y'all won't make that mistake, but
Yeah, then as far as upcoming events, Amy's teaching an awesome class tomorrow on smooth closing strategies right here in this room, but you can also find us on Zoom. So that's tomorrow from 10 to 11. And then happy hour, which I feel like snuck up on us really quick. I was like, did you get that bowling? I'm super excited about that. It's coming Thursday. We're back at Stage. Is that great?
Yeah.
Stage Thursday. Hope to see you all there with the other Alliance partners. Yeah.
Thank you. Experience or your experience, every transaction is different. You should be making sure you bulletproof the transaction. I'll tell you two things you should know: contracts and negotiation. And if you have a question, call Ruth. She would love to answer your question. But make sure you're protecting your client. You get paid not for showing houses. You get paid by running a great contract. Yes, sir.
I got a plug for shelter. Well, it's kind of a mid plug. So I was working with a buyer recently and they refused to give shelter an opportunity. They went with their lender. You've been searching for houses for probably 6 months, put something under contract. 4 or 5 days go by where due diligence about ended and they get their payment from the lender and it was way higher than they thought it was. So they got the bait and switch. And I thought back, I was like, man, my boy talked about ball equipping the transaction. This lender gave them a low rate, sucked them in, they got the payment, they freaked out, terminated. And so it made me thankful that these guys don't do stuff like that.
Yeah, and now that big switch, they said, I get you, I'm just using crazy math, so please don't go with this. Say 4%, but yet the actual world is 5%, but yet then they got these fees tacked on and taking 10 years to even get there. And we know the average person moves 7 to 5, 7, 17 years.
They were putting 6% and I told them break them at 6% for over a year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And they wouldn't look at me as that, but you get like $1,500 on inspection
Oh,
appraisal.
yeah.
They waste all the-
Well, now that we're talking about y'all come down, because y'all are now like, you know.
Hey, before they come down, we had a question for Amy.
Okay, question for Amy, and what's that question?
How did they find out that the fees were incorrect? So what do you guys do is, I can't see Amy. What do y'all do as closing attorneys to ensure that those HOA fees are correct?
So we have to order the HOA letter, and that's gonna detail whatever fees have to be included as part of the transaction. So that's when it came up. And at that point, it's too late. They've already disclosed whatever they disclosed on the community association disclosure, everything's correct, they're gonna pay the difference. It's always gonna be listed on the HOA letter, but the seller can always contact the HOA to find out those fees prior, and you're gonna wanna get that in writing too. That's the best avenue, otherwise it's your word against theirs.
Now, is this overboard, or should you even send an email to your client and say, hey, I need you to check the HOA, and sometimes they're subject to change. They might be 500 and they're going to 750, and that is your responsibility. Once you do that, you kind of taking yourself off the hook.
Right.
Or if they mess up, you say, look, here's the email, I made it very clear, that's one of the check boxes that we need to check.
Yep.
So that we don't get caught, and that happens, and ladies and gentlemen, HOAs do go up a lot. Y'all know that, you should see that, why? Well, most HOAs handle landscaping. Usually landscapers have gone up since prices have gone up for employment, gas has gone up, so your HOA is gonna go up. So you should be checking that anyway, watching the world. Thank you, Amy, appreciate you, great question. Who was that asked the question? I appreciate that question.
It was Kathy.
All right, thank you, Kevin. All right, Shelter, come on down.
Good morning, morning.
Morning.
What is that? Sorry. Work a little function. I'll let him know before I leave. We know. Good morning to you.
Good morning, good morning. Missing Hot Dog this morning. He's got beach trip right now. He's on vacation.
You should.
He's earned it. He's been working hard. So he's got off this week. And of course, we've got Renee here, which is always wonderful.
Look at mine, you're gonna be so happy.
And our newest addition, for those of you who weren't here 2 weeks ago, Aaron Yar, new loan officer that's gonna help support this office, a ton of experience,
Yeah, I'm gonna change that. She's not, she's been with Shelter how long, how many years?
almost 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah, longer than you do. You're the new out of sauce. She's a veteran that came in when we changed. We changed the onward mortgage yet?
We're in the process of transitioning right now.
Okay, so we'll still, okay?
Yeah.
Some of us are, some of us
Yes.
aren't.
Yeah, we're doing, so for those of you that know, we're flipping over everything with Onward is the exact same, other than the branding, the name. So appraisers, our processor, our team, underwriting staff, we just have a new branded name Onward, which is affiliated with you guys, your office. So we're really excited about it. We're transferring over. My license has already pulled over to Onward. I'm sponsored. We're strategically slowly moving over Aaron and Hunter as well. So that's happening. It's real. It's here. I love it. I'm excited about it. Yeah. All right. So I thought about this morning when I have bad news on rates. I think I'm just going to add Renee. So last week was not great for interest rates. They pulled up to close to 7.25, which was the highest that we've seen since November of 2022. Yesterday, we saw some positive movement back. There just hasn't been a lot of data that's been released this week, but it's coming. So the two things that pushed rates up last week is we're getting a lot of positive employment data. So ADP employment data was released. The jobless data was also released, and it was positive. As push rates up. Also, the Fed, when they spoke and said, hey, we're not getting the data that we want, we may do more rate hikes. So now the market is pricing in a quarter hike in July 27th, and a 50% probability of there being a hike in September. This week is crucial. Anytime inflation, I say the word inflation, that's a potential market mover. So we've got CPI data that's being released tomorrow. PPI data, inflation data that's being released Thursday, and then also another initial jobless claims Thursday. So we could have a lot of market movers this week. So be ready for that.
Again, Erin Diarmith, I'm super happy to be in this office. You guys should all have one of these on your desk. This is a nifty little cheat sheet there. We get this question a lot, y'all as agents probably do too. It's really just to show you obviously the different rates there, but a lot of times a lot of people say, hey, I'm gonna put down, 20% or whatever, and then maybe they wanna go up in price or change something like, well, what if I put down another 10 grand? Or what if I buy this house that's 10 grand higher or 20 grand higher? This gives you an idea of per $1,000 that they're financing, what is that difference on their payment? So this kind of will tell you, hey, if the rate is, we'll go with 7. If the rate is 7%, it's roughly gonna change about $6, $6.50 for every 1,000. So they can kind of do that quick, easy math, if they're doing 10 grand, you're looking at, multiply that times 10, you're looking at $60, $65 a month on their payment. So whether it's up or down, it gives them a little bit of a idea without necessarily having to do a whole payment all the time. Especially if you have your really detailed clients, or if they're really payment conscious and like, hey, I don't want to go over $2,000 a month. What does that mean? Do I have to put down more money to get this higher house? And then down here, we've kind of given you different loan amounts and what the rate difference will do. So again, that's going to be, hey, the rates are 7.25. What if I bought that down to 7? What if I bought that down to 0.875? And this sort of gives you an idea of this is how much you're gonna save if you buy that down a quarter point and your loan amount's around 400 grand, that's gonna save you about $65. So we're always doing math in our world, and we're always doing math with our clients, especially when they're talking discount points. Hey, do I wanna buy that down? Okay, well, let's see, it's gonna save you $65 a month to buy it down a quarter. What's it gonna cost you? Is it gonna cost you 3 grand? Let's do that math. Let's divide 3 grand by 65 and say, all right, it's gonna save you $65 a month, but it's gonna take you X number of months to recoup that. We're having those conversations because a lower rate might look good, but when you gotta look and see what is the cost to that lower rate, how long am I gonna have this loan? Mike mentioned before, average is 7 years in the house. Well, the rates are now, we're assuming a lot of people buying are probably gonna refi in a couple of years, even if they're in that house. So if it's gonna take you 3 to 4 years to recoup the discount, we're kind of coaching them and saying, hey, you may want to just go with the higher rate. You're probably gonna save your money. We'll refinance you later.
Yeah.
And you'll have, instead of buying it down and losing that buy down money. So a lot of information on here. Obviously, you don't need to have that whole conversation. We will do that. But this is a nice little cheat sheet to give you some quick numbers off the cuff, to look at. So any questions?
No, but I think it's just to be thinking, how many Bailey Tardys are there in the world? That their economics changed by that? Well, let's just help everybody say there's a lot of them. Happens every single day. She went from co-signing to get a house to have roommates to maybe buying her own. Right? And she's never bought her cash, so do a loan. So my point is that people are buying and selling houses every day, whether it be a divorce, whether it be a death in the family, or just a young adult ready to buy to make their first purchase. And they don't know rates. They don't know where they were 18, 20, you're talking to your parents saying 100%. Well, if you're a renter, you are 100%. But yet, we've got to, it's how we communicate to the public. Rates really don't matter. Like you've been telling us for months, they're gonna go down in the second quarter. We don't need to stop saying it. When you said, this is what the rate is today, you can refi, and we know, and this is your payment. And by the way, it costs more money to buy that same house than it did 3 years ago. So with the world changing like that, HOA is gonna go up. And your McDonald's hamburgers are gonna go up. And if you notice that, your eggs went up, right? Everything is economics. So I appreciate y'all and what you do, and thank you. And like Matt said, it matters who you're business with, and y'all are the best. So thank y'all. Thank you. No, I can't get sunset.
Okay, all right, so look, I'm so excited. Thursday, I get to spend the whole day with you guys, so I hope you're all coming into the office. Thursday morning, 10 a.m., we have new agent breakfast. If you are newest to Chattanooga North, come on in. We have an open house, but we do this with their attorney in-house and have breakfast, talk all your questions through. Then at 11, there he is, Dallas is teaching a great class on how he rarely loses deals. So we'll be providing lunch at the end of that. So you can come for breakfast and then lunch. And then later at 5 p.m., we're all going over to Stage, one of our favorite places because it's too dang hot to be outside. We have great, yeah. Thank you.
Richie will tell you that whole experience.
Yeah. Not Richie Mumming outside, so inside the stage. Then Friday, if you had a birthday in June or July, join us for lunch. You should already have an invitation. If you haven't, feel free to come. And then cappers, again, you should have an invitation on July 19th and July 20th. I'm excited about this new class. It's a millionaire buyer's agent class. It's actually a whole day that we've gotten the speaker to take the meat out and condense to 2 hours. It's at 10 a.m. on the 20th. And the 24th, Matt and Aaron and Hunter are teaching on a new product, renovation loans, which as a buyer's agent, which I did a lot of, really good product to have when you go into a house that needs all those updates to roll all that in. And then we round out the month on the 31st with coffee talk. So excited to see you guys.
Good night. If you have not signed up for building with 8 weeks to well, there is on, I think tonight's the second. I know that I've been doing this every Tuesday, and we skipped last Tuesday being the 4th. But it's with Jason Abrams, the head of the industry, Mark King, our president. Gary will probably come in some, but my wealth coach will be on there as well, Brett Tanner. So it's at 8 o'clock tonight. I'm in there. I have popcorn and all that. If you need to know more about it, ask Mickey, because I can't tell you where the link is.
It's in the newsletter.
It's in the newsletter. I will tell you is, and just bring your whole family. It's like $349. Put everybody in there. The Augusta rule alone saved me a lot of money. This cost segregation gave me a lot of money. You guys need to be in this class if you want to build massive wealth. And this is the platform of real estate to be able to do that. All right. Moving forward. Where are you at? So, Sue Ellen, come on down, Sue Ellen. Sue Ellen, what is your title inside of Strategic Alliance
Right.
President?
Vice President.
Vice President. I mean, what is that?
We do. Not a big deal. Y'all are the big deal.
Okay.
You're the big deal. You're the big deal. You're the big deal. You're the big deal. So Sue Ellen, Birchfield, 210 Home Buyers Warranty. Here for Kelly today. She says hello and hopes that your business is booming. So real quick, I want to ask a question. Oh, wait, you said tell you something good.
Yeah.
Who is excited about the All-Star game tonight? Okay, a few people. So did y'all know that we have 8 players in the All-Star game?
Oh, and there. Yeah.
And 5 are starters.
Yeah. So it's great. Okay, so
Atlanta.
so if you're a baseball fan, remember, if you're not a baseball fan, great. You need to be. Why? It's economically for you. People buy and sell houses when the Braves, and it brings Atlanta together. You want the Braves to win a World Series. Why does it matter tonight? The winner has home field for the World Series. So it does matter. So I get excited.
Yes, it does. So don't forget, if you don't watch it, look it up tomorrow, which one won, national or American. So we hope it's National League. So let me ask 2 questions. One, who has cats or loves cats? Raise your hand. Okay. All right, so this one's for you. I want you to close your eyes. This is a quick visual. Tunes is the driving cat. Who is that? Saturday Night Live. Okay, a few people. I'm dating myself. Totally dating myself, but this was Saturday Night Live. So the visual I want you to have is Toonses with his arms straight driving the car. Okay, even if you didn't see it, but look it up on YouTube because it is awesomely funny. Okay, so cat lovers and others alike, look that up. The visual that you want to take away from this is be the driver. Oh, wait a minute. We're talking about warranties. Okay, so be the driver on the warranty opportunity. Don't wait. We don't want to wait. If you're working with the seller, if you have the listing, don't wait until the buyer comes and says, I want X warranty at X dollars, right? Be proactive. Give your seller this complimentary, this is from Kelly, this complimentary listing coverage right here, okay?
And here's a neat little thing you can do, and this is working great in some other places. For $50, you can add the air conditioning and the heat pump system for your cellar. And that's a neat little gift. And it also kind of encourages them not only to use it as equity protection for breakdown, normal wear and tear stuff, but also encourages them to go ahead and pay for it for a potential buyer. So be the driver, okay? Be Toonses, be the driver. All right, who likes dogs? Or has dogs, or both? You might have them, might not like them, okay? So I want you to close your eyes for a second. Turn left, Monty, turn left, turn right, Monty, turn right. Okay, that's another, you can open. That's another one I want y'all to look up, is Monty, the driving dog. There are actually several that have been caught. And yes, they do put, this is real. This is not Saturday Night Live, okay? They put their paws up on the steering wheel, and these dogs are literally turning, literally driving the car. So very cool stuff. So we love animals, right? Because it helps open the heart. So again, be the driver. So on the buyer side, what should we do? First combo. Don't wait until, everything's said and done, and then you want to introduce $620 into the system, right? So the buyer, very beginning, have this right there in the materials that you're giving them when they say yes to you as their agent. And it's just simply, hey, you're going to need a warranty. Here's one of our partners. They do a great job for us. When you get ready to make a selection on the property that we find for you, we're going to have this warranty. Now, one of two things can happen. We can ask for it, right? We can ask for it and have the seller pay for it. And if that doesn't work out, then you will need to pay for this yourself. But the cool thing is you can put it right into the proceeds. It will be painless, or you can do a monthly pay with our partner 210. Okay, so be the driver. Be the driver. Think of Toonses. Think of Monty. Any questions?
Love it, let's go.
Yeah, Andrew Daniels, Oak Insurance. I've been getting a good amount of referrals from all y'all. I just wanted to say I appreciate it. There's been a couple times where I've quoted for people and I could tell that they were just looking for the cheapest rate and everything, but at our agency, we have kind of a minimum coverage that we need to meet, and state minimum is below that. So when you're referring people, I appreciate it, but please let them know that, if they're looking for just the drop dead cheapest option, there's probably going to be somebody who's cheaper, but we try to match up the value and the coverage to get a good rate and appropriate coverage, because, when somebody has an accident or a claim, they are always going to wish that they had more coverage. And if they have state minimum for auto coverage, or, just the baseline coverage for their home, any kind of, claim that they're going to have is probably not going to cover all of it. It's going to come out of pocket substantially. So we try to avoid that so there's not any uncomfortable conversations.
I'm gonna add to that. I think every year you need to go every 6 months and look at your coverage. Your lives are changing, right? Good or bad, they're changing. You need to make sure you have the proper coverage, maybe the proper umbrella. And this is part of this wealth building. So that someone, because what happens in today's world, we're a Sioux society. They know you're a realtor, they think you're a multimillionaire. Sorry to say that, that's true. And they start going to where they can get the money. So just make sure you're protecting yourself and your family. You'll hear me talking a lot about that. Wills, trust. These are things I'm gonna be talking about more and more and more. I hope that everybody in the room, like I said, more, you're good. You got any more? No. Thank you. If you leave out of this room and you don't have a will for your family, I'm gonna say this to you. Please don't take offense to this. No, take offense. Makes you mad at me. Shame on you. That's my word for today. If you leave out of this room, you don't have a will, shame on you.
Yeah.
And you should leave this room and go do that. Now, this had nothing to do with today's team meeting, but your family's the one that has to pick up pieces, and I've been in that shoes. Divorce situation, yada, yada, people come in and never even met a family member. It's just so that when you are gone, they are protected. And then it's not the, yeah, so I'll say that, and I don't mean to shame on you as a bad way. I just wanted you to have that feeling like, oh crap, Mike really means that. I did. Yeah, I really did. You need to make sure you have that protection. Like I think people, and you don't know, everybody's a doctor's visit away. Okay, I have that protection for yourself. All right, moving forward. Sorry to go on that little story. Sam and Lucy, thank you. I already got, by using the CRM, your database, like literally, I studied while I was out in California, I study everything. I do. I've become this weird dude. Like it's all that matters. It's all that matters. Do you know why the purse is bigger for the LPGA? Excuse my language, freaking people are showing up. More sponsorship money. The crowds, the gallery was huge. I thought it was in Augusta again.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of fly out there, no problem, get a ticket. Nothing. It was crazy. I'm like, and that's how you increase the purse. More people means more money. Your business, more people, more database. So when we say 201, come on, people, you've got to go to 1,000 plus. When the market shifts, you get more in there. It's the only thing. If I can coach you in anything ever, it's the only thing that matters. You can door knock, you can send mailings, you can do all the traditional crap we've done, but if you have no one in your database, you will struggle in this business. If you want to challenge me, come see me one-on-one, I will challenge you. Every day build that database, and that's why they matter. Sorry, I get on that. That's all we got. All right, we'll 100%.
Yeah, real. I mean, that's it. It's a numbers game. I love that.
Oh, shoot,
On that sport.
yeah, I do that on purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell how much money you make based on your database. Like it's a direct correlation.
Your net worth equals your net worth.
Yeah.
Think about that. You got 300 people, your net worth equals your net work.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about money today. That's cool.
Let's go.
I'm gonna talk about that actual network. All right, so you're gonna need a really small piece of scrap paper for this one. You're gonna take a couple notes.
All right, take out some paper. You gotta work.
I want you
I
to.
got guess here. I gotta work.
Be fine. So what you do is I want you to write down the smallest paycheck you ever remember getting.
I make $3.10 an hour on Merchants Walk in East Stroudsburg with
When you got that paycheck, how
maybe $125.
Okay. Write the number down. Your smallest paycheck. That's what you're thinking. I know that takes a little bit of time to go. Oh gosh. But if you can go into the cobwebs out there and get that number, go ahead and write that down. Now I want you to jump to, hopefully this was more recently, and you don't have to go too far to this one. What was your biggest paycheck? Write that number down. Hopefully that has a comment in it at least. Right. But you should have written down your biggest paycheck ever and your smallest paycheck ever, okay? Now, what I want you to do next, this may require a calculator. I want you to divide the big number by the small number. So take your big paycheck, the biggest paycheck you've ever received, and divide it by the small one. And then if you're comfortable, shout that number out. 900. 900. That's good. Did anyone be 900? Anyone share theirs anyway, so it's not 900? 123? 200. Oh, no, 201. Yeah, it's 201 here. 86, 87. Okay, what else? What here? 83. Okay, anyone else? Give me two more. 178. 123.
365.
Okay, so what that means is that you had increased your income X amount of time. So you 360X your income during that time, or 201X your income during that time. Now, if you could go back in time and have that conversation with your younger self, and I'm thinking of my smallest paycheck was probably when I was 16 working at this hardware store called Busy Beaver. It's a real face, look it up there. They put me in charge of the paint machine. I'm like, I don't even know how to drive, let alone like do it. Anyways, but I want you to think about, like, if you could go back in time and have a conversation with your younger self, what advice would you give them? Would they believe that you would actually 300x your income in that situation, or 200x your income? Because I know back when I was 16, I was like, can I afford a McDonald's hamburger? like barely making enough to get past like minimum wage here. But what changed, right? Like, if you can have that conversation with that former self of you, what changed during that time?
Knowledge.
Mindset change. Your mindset changed, I heard knowledge,
Self-confidence.
self-confident, that's a great one. What else?
Didn't say to push it up.
What's that?
You didn't say to push it up.
No, this second I make 25 cents more, I love it.
Courage.
You
Yeah.
had a lot more people in them.
I love that, right? Network change. Yeah, for me, my friends changed.
Education.
Yeah, my input changed, your education, right? So I want you to think about this is that, if you can, write down the age, not the age, but the time difference between those gaps for you. I don't want you to think that it's too late to 300x your income again, or 200x your income again. You just have to be a lot more intentional and purposeful about what are the people I'm hanging out with? Is my confidence in check? Am I educating myself at a higher level than I was when I was 16 in my case, right? So challenge yourself that if you've already proven yourself to do that once in your lifetime, I can assure you can do it again. You just gotta be intentional about the things that we input, right? Like our creativity, and not necessarily our creativity, but also our compensation is all downstream from our inputs. So I say this because, believe it or not, in 35 days, we're going to mega camp. And I have this really good tendency of going to mega camp and I go, oh, I love Jay Patterson. I'm gonna go follow Jay Patterson around everywhere he goes. So I love Gary Keller, I'm gonna follow Gary Keller, Mark King. And then I'm never purposeful about learning more about those gaps that I wanted to close. Whenever I said that I'm gonna be better this year, I'm just gonna take the same content in. So I challenge you, we have the opportunity like mega camp coming in 35 days, or you have the rest of this year. We have 6 months left this year. Be a lot more intentional and purposeful about the inputs that you're taking in, the people you're hanging out with, the education you're receiving, so that you can increase your income by X amount. So you can have a Bailey Tardy payday this year.
Yeah. Y'all know what today is, well, we know today's lunch, right? You didn't see me last week, right? Because all you were celebrating this great country living 4th of July, right? So it's halftime. So have you looked at your halftime scorecard? And if you're down on your goals, they're not going to change. What do you need to do differently? What do you need to, how many sales? But what do you get to do an opportunity? You are with Keller Williams, right? And y'all know that we give half the proceeds back to the agents who do the business. So what does your profit share look like? Are you scaling your business? Have you looked at another state that you're selling in? What are the things you're doing right now to increase your income so that you can hit your goals? Not KW, but yours. And you're the halftime speech. I'm not no John Wooden, right? And I'm not teaching you how to put your socks on, because that's what he taught people. That's why he was awesome. And I'm not Michael Jordan, even though 23 is my favorite number. And he's my favorite athlete that ever walked this earth outside of Bailey Tardy now, right? But he played to win. And if you're losing, he had the flu. He had the flu, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, and then they win a world title again. But what are you doing at this halftime to make up for the rest of it? And don't go, oh, the market says that is, I'm just telling yourself a true lie to yourself. But number one, you have to do is the mindset that you have to believe. You have to believe that you can do this. So thank you. Lucy, wait a minute. You got to say something, because this is my girl. She's here every day. Listen, you know where they're at. They're here working hard for us every day. I thank y'all for helping us build our CRM and make sure that we're doing the marketing base for our agent, for our database. So thank y'all very much. We appreciate it. All right, let's move forward. Ruthie, you got anything? Come on.
Threatening me.
Yeah, you got, yeah. You know, I'm in Randall, so you guys know, just hang in there. We did not have a team meeting last week. Go ahead.
So, I was putting down on things, but, you know, it's very, I found out, and I've been working really hard, y'all. You got so many issues on here. But the reasons is you're not being smart about who you're in business with. I'm gonna tell you something, most of the problems we're having with people using some lender nobody ever heard of, or maybe they did, like a big lender, like Navy Federal. We thought about that? I told this agent, she knew agent, she probably should have, my buyers use Navy Federal. Well, I used, one of my buyers used Navy Federal many years ago, and I said, I'll never use them again. So I said, you should not do that, but if he's gonna do that, you at least get them approved by a lender that you know that you can trust.
Oh, hold on. So in your special remarks and your listing, you can use the lender you want to, but your buyer must get pre-qualified through my lender as well.
Right.
That's complete control. when Matt, Aaron, or Hunter do that, now they're gonna fight the business, of course they are, but are they gonna make sure that you have a good buyer? Oh, because you have 5 offers on the property. You wanna pick the one that gets you to the closing table.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's very important. So the thing is that when it comes that they didn't get the appraisal done in time, or they didn't give the, well, we had one that this said the file was qualified for the week of closing. I said, my goodness, how could this happen? She said, well, I tried to communicate with them, but they never communicated back. So if that's the case, are you just gonna stand there and wait till they do? And so whenever we call the lender, why is this happening? Oh, we communicated. I said, send me proof. You know what they sent me? The denial letter that was after financing.
Oh, my gosh.
They didn't have it.
Wow.
So be careful who you work.
And lose earnest money?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, probably that agent will never work with that buyer again, right? Because that buyer, this agent, you know, he puts.
Oh, it's not even that. You gotta go looking at the buyer. You gotta look at, they know 100 people, you're a bud.
Exactly.
That's what matters. It's not the deal. Quit looking at the deal. Look at the bigger picture. Who do they know? And who are they telling that you're terrible? They lost $5,000, $25,000 of their money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The lender.
Oh, I get it, but you know what? But here's the deal. That was interesting, Matt just said that. It is your fault. They're gonna blame you because it's a sour taste in their mouth and they're going to somebody else. I'm sorry, I know it wasn't your fault, but that's what happens. They're like, I'm not even, it's just the aura of the whole thing. They go somebody else.
And you're not there to defend yourself whenever that story goes down to their neighbors either. They're not gonna take responsibility for.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So the main thing is when you're showing them others, you can't tell them what's wrong with it, but you can give them the people they need to talk to, tell them the inspector, tell them people that will help them, tell them the lender will help. You need to advise your buyer to use people that are quality people that you know will protect not only your buyer, but protect you, because that's important, because they want to do business with you. So remember that. I know y'all do better, but I had to send out a 10-day letter. I'm telling you this stuff going on. You all be.
Yeah, and you owe it to your clients. Yeah. Thank you for protecting them. Has been blessed, giving us, he's gonna move this up to next week because we have a few more things we need to do. So thank you. If you're not in PC coaching, you're not having deals, you need to get in PC coaching. But thank you for that. Classes and events. I told you about what's happening tonight. We talked about mega camp. You guys gotta get, start playing in these roles. Like you just saw, Dallas is gonna be a class. Well, do y'all know he's coaching all across the country now? Do you know that he'll be at mega camp? Do you know that he'll be at Marianne that does this because he meets other people to build his database, his referral network?
So today from 1 to 3, the Southeast region is doing a mastermind for new agents. They are new agents that are on the panel. Anybody is welcome to go and listen and learn and hear what they're doing and be successful. Their link for that is in Sunday's email. Tonight, if you know anybody that wants to get into real estate, as you know this, we do the K-score pool. K-score school. So if anybody would like to get their real estate license, have them join that Zoom meeting today at 5:30. It's going. Tomorrow, this is another Southeast region event. It is for the entire day, but you can pop in and out for different sessions for whatever you want. It is going to be on the 201 Club with the Southeast region. Once you register, you'll get, or if you click on the link to register, you'll see what the schedule is for what topics are going to be covered. Also tomorrow at 10 o'clock, there's no place like home with Michael and Gray. They talked about that a little bit. How to have a smooth closing. That is tomorrow at 10. Also tomorrow is a business development mastermind with David. They're going to be talking about the 5 tenets of creating a high client, I think, service business. Thank you. That sounds good. And the bilingual sessions are also tomorrow at 1:30. Thursday, Tyler's in person if you need any support with command or any tech help. Also on Thursday is the new agent meet and greet that Renee talked about at 11 o'clock. Dallas is going to be teaching his class how he rarely loses deals. I'm just kind of flying through this, sorry. Thursday is happy hour. Friday, execute your monthly mailer with Brian. He is here. He has done so many things and marketing. This is for you and for your business. He will teach you how to do it. So it's not something that he's going to do for you. Bring your computers to workshop, learn what you need to do to create those monthly mailers. Also on Friday is the June and July birthday luncheon. And then coming up this month, as Renee mentioned, the Cappers luncheons, the buyer's agent. This is all in Sunday's newsletter. You have questions, let us know. Ignite is starting here in August. Amy and Heidi are going to be teaching it this time around. If you need to register, there's the link to register. There's the calendar. It's also in the newsletter.
Miss Carrie, she knocked it out of the park.
She did, she did. And then as mentioned, Mega Campus in 35 days. That is in Austin, Texas, and a great experience if you're able to attend that. And I think that's it. That's it.
All right, guys, this is a moment that I have not been looking forward to for many, many times, so if I can have everybody's attention. I'm about to kind of, come on in, staff, here's the staff coming in here. This is a moment that, everybody's like, what in the world's about to happen? I think it's a moment he's not been looking forward to, because it is a moment that, I've not been looking forward to. Some of you might know that Mickey had her house on the market and she has sold her house. Before I tell you this, Mickey, how long have you been the assistant team leader here?
5 years.
5 years. Yeah. In that 5 years facing this year, in our world as a team leader, we have a black belt, they call it black belt. The gross, that's how many agents you bring in, net, how many you keep in retention. In those 5 years, she's done 3 gross when we finish this year and 1 net. The most accomplished assistant team leader in this company.
Wow.
Yeah. You ever seen the movie Grease? I'm just trying to keep this light so I don't cry. Yeah, I met a boy, crazy as can be. I met a girl, cute as can be. Well, Mickey's life was turned upside down many years ago, and since then she has found a boy.
Our family.
There's a good.
Comparison.
So, Mickey is moving to DC and will be leaving us soon. Come up here, Mickey, get over here. I won't embarrass you, I won't cry. So, yeah, look at, yeah, since they don't know, she's gonna be here for a little while, but as this real estate market happens, she whispered her house is on the market. And then she, sold it fast. And so with that, she'll be, a little faster than what I wanted, but yet she'll be here with us through transition. I was not going to, I have not, posted the job. I'm not going to, because I think this is Mickey's month. Mickey has, been with us for 8+ years. 10, excuse me. I sent her a picture. I've been doing pictures to her over the last couple of months of us with me, with over hair, I'll speak for myself, and the changes of my do and facial hair and all that stuff. And it's been fun, but I've not mentioned anything. I will be on the hunt eventually for her replacement, and we'll find. I would not look to fill her shoes at all, because you cannot fill those shoes. They would just be a different pair of shoes. I can tell you this from the bottom of my heart, you've been the most incredible. I don't even know what I'm gonna do without you. I said that yesterday, but I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I know these ladies, you're family to us. So I saved this for the last minute of the meeting so that I didn't cry. But I thank you. You're the best.
Thank you.
Is you gonna stay with Keller Williams there?
But she is one, that is funny, she just asked a question.
Meeting. Through Zoom.
Time to get his way. You wanted to make it and you got it. So I like that. So
We'll talk.
Yeah, why can't he come here?
Our mom, our entire family's up there. That's where I'm from. I'm going back home.
That's a lot of houses.
Anyway. I mean, listen, you guys are my family, these guys. So anyway, that's it. That's all I can say. I love you all. I love you guys so much. It's the hardest decision to make. It's just time. But without, I mean, you gave me the opportunity here when I started off at the front desk. I didn't know what I was doing. I know a thing about real estate. I'm like, what? What in the world?
Actually, she was leaving me. The true story is she goes, I'm leaving, I can't sell real estate. I said, I got a job for you because she's a school teacher. And her heart's so big, I'm like, this is a no-brainer. And the rest is history.
Yeah, yeah. But you gave me every single opportunity. You guys, I wouldn't. Anyway.
Mickey. I saw Keller Williams before, so two other offices before I came here. And I think you know this, but the reason why I'm here today, the main reason is because how you treat me the day that you show me the office and you made me feel like I was going to a sad family.
Show this to me because you guys are, me, y'all, I mean, for this business. My license is still here. I'm not leaving my license. And I'm still part of the family. You guys are still my family. I couldn't have survived these past couple years without support from them, from you guys. Anyway, I love you all, and you all are the best group of people. You've made this a second home. You've made it my family, and you'll always be my family. I'll still be back. Chris is staying here. He's gonna be moving down to Atlanta, so I will still be coming in. I'll still be seeing him, so I'll pop in. I'll come to team meetings. It'll be great, but good job. But this really is, this such an amazing group of people here, such a family, such everything, and I love y'all, I love you guys.
So,
We love you.
we love you, Nikki, yeah. So with this month of July, we would have done it last week, but it's 4th of July, and I want to give her the prop. But all this month is all about Nikki. So if you have a story for her, if you have pictures of her, we're gonna, I want to make this month is dedicated to Mickey's month.
Okay.
Because she has truly been the most magical person in the world, and her lived her name, Mickey Mouse, because it's magical, and I you know, I'm a little lost for words for sure, and will be lost. Yet, you know, the show must go on, and she is moving, as LB said, for her family, and I use it boy. But, you know, their parents' age is important too, so I do support that, and I've had the opportunity with the mom and dad to have them on my boat. And do the events with them and do a lot of great fun things with them, and they're just great people, her family's great. And so I'm excited for you. I will miss you terribly. You might see the weekly newsletter still come from her for next year because I'll. But this month is all gonna be dedicated, so anything you have, share, the month of July is Mickey's month. And we know what she's done. Your story is great. There's 5,000 other more just like that. And I know you joined here because of her, heart. And I watched, I told you the man named Otto last night, and you simplify. Not the grouchiness, that's me, on the heart side, and your heart's so big. So, I didn't mean to leave you on that note, but I had to wait till the last minute to even share that. So I keep my composure.
And I'm still here, I'm still doing the 9:30 call, I'm still doing the newsletter, so whatever you need, let me know, I'll help you with whatever. And here we go.
Yeah, she's nice. Yeah, I mean, if we can keep her longer, you know, just put your house up, Fall through, it will be.
Hey.
That's not gonna happen. Yes, well, yeah. Do y'all understand Peachtree Corners? And I said, me and Matt, we had these great conversations about Peachtree Station. And I'll be, guys, he's got more offers than she can, this, it's like just choosing. It's like fish in a barrel. And that's what Peachtree Corners is. And to see what they're doing here, you guys should be dominating this market. We're the dominating real estate firm. There's no one that can even come close to us in our name and our recognition. So I'm gonna challenge y'all. Know what you know too with that is, go out there and build up Peachtree Corners. Let's paint this town red.
You know, it's the #1 city in Georgia, #1 street community in Georgia, it's now Peachtree Corners.
Oh, yeah, there's a big thing in the US. I think in the state of Georgia, the US is on top 10.
Hey, and on that note, I want to say, I've been in this realm for 10 years. And I'm thinking, I'm gonna, this is my house, I know how to enter it into Swift, I know how to do all that stuff. I don't know a thing about real estate. And my note is here, if you're new, if you even have been in the business for 10 years and you haven't done anything, get a coach, get somebody to help you. I'm telling y'all, I didn't know, I mean, we've got a septic tank and I didn't know if you have an FHA loan that they're gonna want you to connect the septic to the sewer. I didn't know stuff like that. Kim's like, oh, Mickey, you don't wanna do FHA. And then just little things, and then the deals, and I'm like, what's good, what's bad, what do I have to do? And then I look at the little amendment, I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And I don't know, and residential REA did the inspection on my house. They're very thorough. Sent the buyer, they're really thorough, let me tell you. So just little things, you think, when you're coming into the business, you're like, oh, I got this. Yeah, you have to know people, you have to meet people, you have to talk to people, but then once you get into the meat of the transaction, you need support, you need somebody who knows what's going on and knows how to protect yourself and your clients. So I encourage you, get into coaching, get a mentor, get somebody to help you with that process of it. I could not have done this without Kim Tardy.
And yeah. Money, we have house.
Yeah.
It matters. It matters. Anybody else, anything?
We love you, Mickey.
Day that I didn't, want to happen, but yet we all, at one time or another, it's gonna happen, and, we love you. I'm glad Hank is here, because he has influence like nobody else. I think he'll happen sometimes, so we'll get you back as our guest every once in a while.
Come Thursday night and celebrate Mickey.
Yeah. This month is all geared towards her. We're gonna do Mickey moments in team meeting every week, so get ready.
Hey, some you can't share.
Am I sing?
Oh my God.
Am I sing?
I was thinking
Real
of
soon? Why? Because we love you.
Yeah, they.
I went on the bus in kindergarten and everybody would sing the Mickey Mouse song, and that's how I learned how to spell it. Okay.
But, okay, outside staff, I want somebody to tell me Mickey's name. If you don't know.
Michelle.
And spell it.
Oh.
M-I-C-H. Yeah, M-I-C-H.
True story, I got kicked out of the department, I bought a car from her and they kicked me out, literally had to go back with the title in hand. Because I refused to tell, her name is Mickey, I didn't know it was Michelle.
Yeah, this is only like 5 years ago.
Like,
Yeah. I had no idea, so Michelle didn't know. I fought with them, they kicked me out of the motor vehicle, and I had to go back and get the title re-signed. Because there's no such thing as, there is no Michelle. They said Michelle, and I said, well, then she must have had it done in another state, because her name is Mickey. My brother made the same mistake at the dentist office. Brother-in-law.
Yeah.
So, it's not just me. So there'll be stories that we tell every week, but we're going to celebrate Mickey, the great Mickey, the legend ATL of Chattanooga. 4-time black belt. It's a way to beat that way.
Here he is he on mute?
Good morning. Hey, hey. Good morning, beautiful people chatting north, and happy Gratitude Tuesday. As always, it's another beautiful day to be alive. First, just a quick shout out to Kim, Bob, and Bailey Tardy. I mean, just what an amazing example of dedication, commitment, and hard work. And that's really just such a wonderful example to all of us. Right now, I have to go off script because I was going to share something else, but after getting that news about Mickey, I'm like, Mickey, I just want to say, wherever you go, whatever you do, you still have to do the market matters meeting at 9:00. I don't care. You still got to do it. I mean, that kind of wakes us all up and gets us all inspired and just gets us cranked up. So we love you. Everybody loves you. This office is just filled with just so much love. And it's just such a wonderful place to be a part of. So yes, it does matter who you're in business with. So let's continue to think big, aim high, act bold, peace and love. Chat North out.
Have a great day. Everybody still in this.